What's up, guys? So in this video, we'll go over the exact 5-step process that we implement to help coaching businesses scale and generate minimum 5 figures within the next 60 days. If you find this content valuable, make sure to subscribe. And if ever you have any questions about the process or if something is unclear, make sure to put it in the comments. See you inside. All right, guys, so let's get this started. So this is how we help online coaches add minimum 5 figures to their business within 60 days while all they have to do is deliver the service that they love doing. So we do this by implementing a 5-step process to help coaching businesses achieve the results that I just mentioned using what we call inverse online funnels. So just to clarify from the top, this is for any online coach that wants to monetize their passion with their existing audience on social media, or if you want to scale your coaching business with effective growth systems, or if you have a good sized social media following but you have no idea as to how to go about it to monetize, because as you may know or as you may not know, having a large social media following is a very huge asset if you want to make some money online and if you have a skill, right? So the goal of this video is to really show you the exact framework that we use to help coaches get more calls and close more deals using inverse funnels and back-end systems that they don't have to manage, and all they have to do is just deliver the service they love doing. And because ultimately that's what they're best at, right? That's why they got into the game in the first place. So I'm gonna dissect this exact process from A to Z so you can perhaps take this information and take action as soon as possible to scale your coaching business or launch your own high-ticket coaching offer if you haven't started yet, because as you're going to see, this process really applies to anyone. I mean, if you're a beginner, you're going to start from step one. Not necessarily a beginner, but if you haven't launched any offers, you can start from step one. But you're going to see that if you're a bit ahead in the game and you already have a validated offer, you can just skip a couple steps. But really, wherever you're at, you can get value out of this. So without further ado, let's get into the process. So first, this process came to us because we saw some reoccurring problems in the online coaching industry. And these problems are the following. So a lot of coaches fail to scale their business or get income consistently in the first place due to a key pivotal reason. So the first one, and probably the main one, is that a lot of coaches were focused too much on pushing sales instead of attracting sales. So they were chasing immediate conversions and relying too heavily on front-end marketing. Or they had a poor product market fit, so just their offer wasn't responding to an actual desire that was present in the market, or wasn't just filling any gap, really. It was just a skill that they had. It's a valuable skill, but they were just presenting it as is without considering the pain points and desires of the market. Or they would outright ignore all unqualified leads, which is a big mistake because an unqualified lead may very well become qualified in the future. Or they had a sales team with a very poor team culture or just no culture at all. Or they were lacking human interaction and weren't building rapport well in the appointment setting process with their leads, or they just had an unfulfilling service. So just their service wasn't, just wasn't taking anyone anywhere, really. So without further ado, here's our process that really solves all these bottlenecks that you may have as an online coach. So the first step that we go through is really finding product market fit. So it's one thing to have a skill, which a lot of people have, but it's another thing to structure it in a way that is actually valuable for a large niched group of people, right? So the first step to scaling is understanding your target market. So you have to understand really their psychology from A to Z. They have to become like your life partner, your best friend. You really need to know them. That way you can actually help them. So you need to know the following. So first, their problems and pain points, which is their current state. So today, if we construct an avatar, right, a specific person, this person is feeling a certain way. This person has some types of problems and they're struggling to overcome them. That's their current state. Then you want to know their desires and aspirations, where they want to go. They want to go to a place, which we call the dream state, in this place, they've overcome these problems, they've solved everything, and they're at their dream state. They're whatever it is they want to achieve, they're there, right? And then you want to know the reasons why they haven't been able to get there. So the gap, these specific roadblocks, what are they? Why haven't they been able to go through that journey from where they are now to where they want to be on their own? Why haven't they been able to do that? So that then you can actually position your offer as the engine that solves these problems for them. So in order to craft an offer, you must have this information. And the best way to access this information is actually by directly asking your audience. Instead of digging through online platforms like Quora or just scraping through YouTube comments just to find some comment of someone who corresponds as your target market and just try to figure out their psychology from that. It's much better to just leverage your own audience. So if you have 12,000 people following you on Instagram, for example, maybe not all 12,000 are qualified people that are part of your target market, but a large majority of that audience is going to be part of your target market, and you can get real live data from these people that are already following you. So after you get this information, you just position your offer as the mechanism that fills that gap for them, right? So there's the current state, there's the dream state, there's a gap, right? If they jump, they fall and they die. They die, right? So you're just gonna position your offer as the bridge that takes them from the current state to the dream state. And then it's no longer a scary journey for them, because now they see your offer, they're like, oh, this person can take me from where I am today to where I want to be. That's great. I'm gonna go forward with their service, right? So once you get all this information, this will help you create an endless feedback of sales assets. So at this stage, you can also begin to generate ideas of regarding what funnel to build to best position that offer that you've just created. So now we come to step 2, which is constructing sales assets, so that are tailored for your audience. So you want to create content that sells, not just content for the sake of creating content and for putting your face out there and showing your personality. So while that's valuable, still it's part of it. It's not ultimately what's gonna book you leads and close you deals. So at this stage, you know how your audience is feeling, you know what they want to achieve, and you know why they can't achieve that outcome on their own. And this will help you craft content that your audience wants to see. Content can come in many forms. So these sales assets can be in the form of short form reels. So like Instagram reels, these are used by pretty much anyone at this point. They're very popular and very effective. But then they also come in long form YouTube videos, long form sales letters, which are really not leveraged enough in my opinion, or free trainings, or even Twitter threads. So you want to distribute these sales assets on multiple platforms. The more attention your sales assets get, the more leads for your business. These assets do a large part of the selling for you. That's why they're called assets, right? So I really like to compare this to real estate. Like when you invest in a property, it gets you passive income. It's money that works for you, that comes into your bank account without you having to work for it. So it's the same thing with these assets. Instead of you chasing people and being like, hey, here's my product, do you want to buy it? And you kind of like hustle them into buying from you. You have these assets that you place everywhere, right? You post reels on Instagram, you post a YouTube video. When you talk to a prospect, you're like, hey, this might be valuable for you. Here's a written sales asset. Here's a free training, etc. You put these assets out there and they actually convert people for you. A lot of people consume your assets. They're like, this guy actually, his offer looks pretty interesting. Let me inquire about it. And they're going to come to you. So they do the selling for you. This is why they're very, very valuable. And they're also used to kill sales resistance before sales calls, build good rapport and trust in the DMs, as I kind of just said, right? If you're talking to a prospect in the DMs, they're still not sure if they want to buy from you. Instead of like pushing them into the sale, you just give them something that might be valuable to them. Here you go, read this. I think this might be useful, and it's going to build better rapport and trust. And they're going to view you as someone who's there to also give to them, not just take, right? They're used to gain an edge over competitors in your space. increase frame before getting on sales calls, and re-engage conversations with leads by doing value-based follow-ups. Once we've created all of these assets and we have our killer offer, we can now go to step number 3, which is finally building the whole sales process and funnel. So you now have an offer that solves your audience's pains. You've got their attention with sales assets. The goal is now to turn this attention into cold hard cash, right? So you have people looking at you. Now it's time to act and convert these people. So in order to turn views into cash, you must have a mechanism that can just convert traffic into consumers. So in simpler terms, you need a sales process, right? So a sales process should include a funnel, a hungry sales team of appointment setters and closers, sales scripts, pre-call workflows, leveraging sales assets to make sure leads show up for sales calls and to ensure that leads are warmed up before sales calls, and a CRM for managing and navigating leads in the pipeline. So essentially, your funnel will convert traffic into leads, and your sales reps, scripts, workflows, and CRM and sales assets will turn leads into paying customers. So if we have to recap, essentially right now, you created something valuable, which is your offer, something that genuinely helps people, genuinely provides value. You've created assets around that offer to attract eyeballs. So you have something valuable. You've caught the attention of a couple people, hundreds of thousands, and then you have a mechanism that turns these people into cash, right? When you've gone to that step, you can now create what's called a power offer. So after the first three steps that I just mentioned, you have everything you need to start pushing that. So the best way to introduce that is by creating a power offer. So it's different than a typical VSL funnel. It's a piece of content that speaks directly to your market in a straight to the point manner with no salesy tactics, right? Because the VSL is still effective, but it's been used so much that when you send people to a landing page and they see a video, everyone is like, okay, I'm going to be sold to now. Whereas with a power offer that's in a written form, it's a bit different, and you kind of stand out of the box with it, and it's not salesy. It's persuasive, but it's not salesy and gimmicky. It's very straightforward. You tell the market what they can expect and how the process will work, and that's it, right? You're very straightforward with them. So if you have a big audience, this asset can be posted on your social media channels, and if you don't have a big audience, you can simply DM every single person that interacts with your content. So do the math yourself. Let's say you post a reel, you get 1,000 views for a single reel. And let's be pessimistic and say that 1% of those leads are interested in your service. That's 10 people, right? That you book on a call. Let's be pessimistic again, and let's say that your conversion rate is 1%. That's one closed appointment off of 1,000 views only in a very pessimistic scenario, right? So a power offer can do a lot of work for you. So you have to continuously post these post power offers and targeted content to get leads into your business. And when you're doing that enough and you have the right product market fit of something that's actually valuable, that solves problems for a certain niche, you'll have no problem getting qualified sales calls booked. And finally, we come to the last step, which is really scaling operations to the next level, and that's using paid advertising. So once an offer is validated, then you can start to scale with paid advertising. Paid ads aren't magic, right? A lot of people sometimes they think it's magic and they're not making sales with their offer, and they just throw paid ads and they think it's going to work. It doesn't work. But if your offer is validated and it's something that genuinely works, throw paid ads in there, it's going to scale even higher. We consider an offer to be validated when it's generated at least 15 to 25K cash collected. Then we consider that to be validated, and we run paid ads to any business. And that's the last step of the 5-step process. Let's do a quick summary for you guys to get a little overview. So it's step 1, finding the right product market fit. Step 2, crafting top quality sales assets. Step 3, building the sales process and funnel. And step 4, pushing the power offer. And step 5, scaling the operation with paid advertising. And me and my partner can build this all for you if you're an online coach. Well, all you have to do is focus on delivering the service and the skill that you master, right? So yeah, if you're interested in getting some tips and on how to set up these systems in your business, you can book a call with me on the link in the description. Or if you ever have any questions, you can shoot me a DM on IG. The link is also in the description. Or you can hit up my partner as well, Gabriel. His IG is Funnels with Gab. I'll also put it in the description, and we'll be happy to help you out, guys. Take care.